everyone, and welcome to Cleantoberfest. I'm Nick.
I'm Sam.
I'm Stevie.
And we are in the mood today to celebrate Oktoberfest, unfortunately.
It's October.
It is October. I mean, we're about a month late for actual Oktoberfest, but since that's not happening in Germany, we figured we'd at least bring some of the spirit.
Yeah. Pumpkin spice don't got anything on authentic lederhosen.
Yeah, we've got this bratwurst scented detail spray that we're working on, and then sauerkraut air freshener, which I don't think that'll do too well, but
A lot of you already make your own air fresheners after eating sauerkraut.
well, yeah, we just wanted to have some fun. We've got a couple big happenings here at Griot's Garage. Today is going to be pretty light, so we want to take a lot of your questions. We're going to talk a little bit about our upcoming products for SEMA. Any questions we didn't get to answer on our last live that featured the G15 and G21 long throws, which are working their way in and out of stock as you guys scoop them up, which we thank you for. And then the GR3 rotary tool, which we didn't get to talk about at all last time. But yeah, in the interim, we are wearing lederhosen, and Stevie's got a traditional drindle on, so we are in the mood, as we said.
In the spirit.
Yeah. So you guys, as you join the chat, be sure to know that we are giving away some German-themed goods today. Some of our partners, I actually got to meet them in Frankfurt, Germany a couple years ago at Automechanica, are the only licensed Volkswagen merchandise company in the world. You do have a lot of knockoff stuff that may say V-Dub or whatever kind of iteration, the Bug, the Beetle, but this partner is the only licensed Volkswagen seller in the world, and we have a couple things we're going to give away for the best questions, the funniest questions. We have some pre-selected winners as well, but you guys are going to get to pick if you want these Volkswagen microbus coasters, which show the microbus in a multitude of environments, and obviously will keep your table free of water stains when you have your enormous liter stein that tends to sweat as they do. A T3 Vanagon, the best generation if you ask me, of the microbus or Westphalia. See a lot of those around Seattle, whether people are camping in them or actually doing adventurous things in them. And then a pair of microbus salt shakers. So you guys get to shoot at us whatever you want, whether it's German theme, that really is irrelevant. We're just dressing up for the hell of it. I mean, we're having some fun here.
It's October.
Are we going to give away another movie poster also? Or
I think we better give away a signed movie poster. I don't know. Did anybody... I say we give a movie poster away to the one person that finds the Easter egg in it. Did anybody see the hidden aspect in that movie poster? Now, I know you probably saw it on Instagram or Facebook, but if you zoomed in at all, you should have been able to see the secret Easter eggs in there. So the first person to answer correctly in the chat what Easter eggs are in that movie poster.
There's two of them, right?
Yeah, well, I think get a autographed poster from all three of us.
I think we have to change that because we already had someone asking.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Did they found them?
They found the Easter egg already? Okay,
Yeah.
well, who is that person? That person probably is the winner.
It was Juan Massa.
Okay, well, we'll do one more. For anybody else who hasn't found the Easter egg yet, we'll do a second one. And then, yeah, from now on, we will give away some of these other pieces of Volkswagen paraphernalia. Oh, man. The hat is great, but it's just a traffic cone painted. You know what? I lugged that traffic cone all the way back from Oktoberfest
It's a nice traffic
4 years
cone.
ago.
It's authentic.
It says
wool.
Oktoberfest 2016. It's one of the souvenirs. Okay, I'd had a couple steins of beer. It was a
Real Oktoberfest,
Yeah.
too, not your American.
Got a couple of people saying their wife was born in Frankfurt. It's a great town. We were unable to go there this year. We usually go every couple of years to Automechanica there. But that whole COVID thing got in the way, so.
Somebody wants a sauerkraut air freshener.
Sauerkraut air
must really
freshener.
like sauerkraut.
Okay. Josh Nunn is sending messages in German. I do not speak German very well. Okay, how about we answer some questions?
Let's do it.
Okay.
I've got a few. Start from the top, or
Okay, here's a good one. We just launched this fall season our line of wool pads, and Tay Brabant, whatever, from Instagram asked, "How do you know when to use a wool pad? Seems like a scary thing to touch."
I mean, that's a great question. I think a lot of maybe the not necessarily misconceptions, but a lot of the ideas and conversation around wool has been related to rotary tools up until this point. So on an orbital, of course, the wool pad, on an orbital isn't going to be as aggressive as it would on a rotary, but it's a similar decision, just like choosing microfiber versus foam to me. When you're up against a heavy defect that you're having a hard time getting out, or you have the experience to know that you can't get defects out with a foam pad, that's the time to
again, I mean, part of it is comfort level with the material for sure. It is a more aggressive material than a foam interface. You have fibers moving laterally at the same time you have a pad being thrown laterally, which generates the friction that you're seeking in order to introduce the abrasive. Actually, wool, Jeff actually shared this with me, wool is going to be less aggressive than microfiber just as it's a softer fiber when used on an orbital. But the reality of any of these fiber interfaces, whether it be microfiber or wool, is that you most likely will impart some marring or light haze that requires a subsequent step. So that is really the I think, delineating factor. When you use it, you almost know you're going to have a secondary step, and then you're really only using it for severe defects. This isn't a gentle approach, right? It is one that is more aggressive than not.
Definitely. Not something you're going to use on every car, and normally is going to be followed by a less aggressive step with a lighter foam pad.
All right, let's see.
Got some guys guessing the Easter eggs there.
Was the guy tickling Nick from the back? There is nobody tickling me from behind, but
it might kind of look like it. But.
Yeah, I will say it was quite the photo shoot to orchestrate. That was somebody mentioned it was a Sound of Music movie poster, so that's kind of where we took the inspiration for it. But yeah, we had a little bit of fun. That wasn't actual beer. Many beers were harmed in the making of that photography. It was Budweiser. Don't worry, like full-calorie Budweiser stuff, nobody really wants to drink anyway. So unless you like Budweiser, then that's your opinion, and sorry for you. All right, did anybody else get it?
There's a couple guys.
Are we talking about that Easter egg?
No. Oh, that's a fun one. Somebody found that?
Yeah, Joshua Nunn found that.
Okay,
Nice.
yeah, there's a special little bottle up on that shelf there.
Attentive.
A traditional German aperitif known as Jägermeister.
And then Matthew Dvorsky pointed out the Easter egg in the poster.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
So that would be Juan and Matthew if you want to email social@griotsgarage.com.
Okay, you're going to get autographed posters of Cleantoberfest. Yeah.
I think Matthew
Das ist
only
gut.
found one of them too, right? Has anybody found the other one?
I mean, Matthew found the hardest one to find, though.
Oh, true.
And yeah, Juan found both of them.
Okay. All right, so I guess that's the end of our giveaway there. But the Easter egg was Sam and Stevie's faces were photoshopped onto some of the children in the background, so a little harder to see, but yeah, little bit of Easter egg in there. And then yes, looks like Josh Nunn has a sharp eye for the Jägermeister that's buried up there. Anybody who spent enough time in college in the mid-2000s probably consumed too much of that. It's actually meant to help you digest your food, right? It's not necessarily a club drink that ends your night.
That's awesome.
All right, let's see. What other do we have any other detailing questions that are coming in?
Well, Terrence Williams Uncovered did ask if we still carry the car care organizer bag. We will offer it again soon. It is being redesigned so that the G9 will fit a little more comfortably into it.
Yeah, I think I'm comfortable talking about that. That actually will be out in our holiday season. That catalog drops on Friday. I know the inventory is a little bit behind, but we have redesigned the car care organizer bag. It is the 3rd generation. It is much improved, and you'll see that very shortly. So currently, we don't have any for sale, but you will see a redesigned one very shortly.
It's a good question. How many beers can the PFM towel hold?
We did use a PFM towel to get that spilling beer effect as I jumped in the air to click my heels. We're using a PFM, and I think we got, probably two full beers in that, whatever 5 pounds of beer is. But yeah, I mean, you can wash the scent of beer out too, so there's no doubt that you could easily use a PFM for beer cleaning if so desired.
Quick beer cleaning.
Yeah. Okay, Cody Brace from Instagram asks, clay bar or a synthetic clay rag? Do you have a preference? Well, I think it's probably safe to say the synthetic clay rag that he's speaking of features the same polymer matrix as any of our surface prep tools, which in our current form we have our Brilliant Finish synthetic clay. We have a fine and fast surface prep mitt, which are the big, large format mitts, which are great, lots of surface area. And then what else? We've got the 6-inch orbital surface prep pad as well.
Yep.
So I think, relative to safety, clay bar, traditional clay bar, at least our traditional clay bar, is almost abrasive free. So it is the gentlest approach. It's a great way, as Sam likes to say, to get intimate with the car. But the surface prep tools, you have speed, you have flexibility of lubricant. You don't have to discard them. Durability, longer life. So it really just depends on what you're using it for. I know I like the surface prep mitt for cleaning my wife's car. It's a big SUV. I can cover a lot of ground and do that job a little faster. If we're decontaminating at ISO Revolta and SEMA show prep, we're using a clay bar.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I find myself mostly using the synthetic versions, but I still pull out traditional clay time and time again. There's also some certain types of contaminants. Sometimes like sticky tar will come off easier with traditional clay than a synthetic clay. But yeah, primarily the new ones, but I think we both and the majority of everybody else around here still uses the traditional.
Yeah, from time to time, for sure.
Can't take myself seriously in this
I do look pretty ridiculous. But it's fun. It's fun. I mean, these are outfits. I wore these outfits in Germany in Oktoberfest.
That's awesome.
There's nothing like walking into a beer hall filled with the scent of spilled beer, pretzel and beer farts, and thousands of screaming, singing Germans that are all dressed exactly alike. It's quite a festive place. I really miss being there. But we have a question from Dub VR6. NOS GR3 mini video coming soon? Yes, we actually just filmed that very recently, so that video should be debuting on our YouTube channel very shortly. In fact, we could probably ask Matt when he thinks he's going to be done with that. And we'll get an answer for you later. But yes, very, very quickly. Oh, Extreme Details just got his GR3 yesterday and a G21 possibly tomorrow.
Nice.
That is great news. You're going to love the G21.
Christmas in October.
It is a beast.
How many beers will fit in my hat? Wish we could figure that out.
Yeah. We're not going to do that live on YouTube for sure. Hair still intact, just for Extreme Details. I got to meet him and his family out in Indianapolis a couple weeks ago. But yeah, it kind of has a way of staying intact no matter the environment. Outside of rain, it's allergic to water. All right, let's go back to the drawing board while we get more questions. Hey, are we getting any questions in from Facebook as well? Are we seeing those?
Yeah, they're on the document.
Okay.
Nick's adding them.
Don't forget to, you guys, subscribe, like, hit the notification bell, all of the above. Keep these videos coming.
Yeah. Yeah, we love hanging out with you guys. We're going to continue to have fun. John Keeling says you need to get out from behind the cart and show off those lederhosen. Look at those things, man.
Come up a little bit.
We're doing some traditional dancing here. There you go. Now we're having some fun. All right. What were we talking about?
I need to go
we got to
yodel.
give some of these things away, too. We have a bunch of German-themed stuff. We haven't given them away. All right. Edward Delgado, how many beers will fit in Sam's hat? I'm not sure, but we're going to give you the choice of either coasters, Vanagon, ceramic mug, or salt shakers to celebrate Oktoberfest. So Edward Delgado, email social@griotsgarage.com and keep sending us questions. We're going to give away a lot more of this stuff. We are in a generous mood.
Oh, yeah. Lots of it to give away.
Okay, Henry.Garza9237. I think we've seen Henry here before. Submitted a question via Instagram. What is each of y'all's favorite German car?
That's a great question. Audi B5 RS4.
Ah,
For sure.
I wonder why.
You don't see them around here, but I had a B5 S4 for a couple years and love that car. And the RS4 is just the unobtainium version.
Oh, man, it's a really, really difficult question. There are so many good German cars. I mean, selfishly, there's one that we created that never existed that is pretty damn special, the detail wagon. I mean, I don't know what more you could want from the best, in my opinion, the best looking BMW, the E30, in a shooting brake form, rear drive, 6-speed manual transmission and V8. That's a pretty damn good one. But for stock cars, I'm going to have to say pass. Stevie, it's your turn.
I was gonna say.
I'm
was
obsessed with
curious.
E30s right now, so I do like your detail wagon.
Is there a specific E30 you like, the M3 or just? Or?
I mean, an M3 would be great, but I'm trying to focus on things that are within my budget.
Okay, so E30 BMWs, we got a couple picks for those. I mean, Porsche 911, you can't even delineate the amount of them. I mean, it's such a historical car.
That was my next choice.
Yeah, I love, my dad's, the first nice car I really remember my dad having was his 1996 993 C4S. And I know that the ultimate 993 is the Turbo S, and that might have to be it. But those are kind of unobtainium as well.
Yeah.
Like to find one that hasn't been absolutely thrashed. They didn't make many of the Turbo S. Perfect Porsche shape, big power, modern amenities, but not too modern. That's probably my favorite German car.
That's a good choice. That's a tough question for sure.
All right, Henry, I think you made us think, so we got to give you some stuff.
That was a fun one. That was actually the same answer to one of my interview questions when I got hired at Griot's Garage.
It hasn't changed at all.
No, I don't know. I'll always have a strange love for those cars.
Yeah.
Hot hatch, and yeah, had a version of it. I always wanted the wagon.
All right, Grey Wolf Sam is wearing the beer sorting hat from the German version of Harry Potter. Yeah.
This one doesn't talk though, luckily.
And we're seeing more people say their GR3 is arriving tomorrow. That's awesome. Funnel chug. Once the cameras are off. Scott Mattern, do you offer a post-polish panel prep spray? Man, that was a mouthful. Panel wipe prep product. The answer is not currently. We have been working on one. We debuted one last year at SEMA that was very close to being finished, and then we ran into a regulatory snag. I will say the development recently has been very positive, and the formula that we like the most that is not only effective but also going to be compliant has been defined by a multitude of people scrutinizing it, is going to be on the market probably early 2021. And I can confidently say, and I know you can say this as well, we benchmarked against a lot of product that comes in from overseas that isn't necessarily playing by the same rules we have to as a US-based manufacturer. So it's challenging to create a product that is effective when you're competing against people that are playing. It's like trying to catch a pass in a football game inside the boundary, and somebody can run 20 yards outside and catch the same pass.
Yeah.
And you can't defend that wide of a field. So kind of the challenge we're always up against, but we want to play by the rules. So we've taken our time with that one. But once it comes out, you're going to love it.
Absolutely. Long time coming, too.
Yeah, a long time coming.
It's on its way.
Okay, Efren Moran. I like to use carnauba wax. Can I top it with the ceramic 3-in-1? Want
You
to take that one?
absolutely can.
Oh.
Ceramic 3-in-1 on top of a carnauba-based wax will definitely enhance the hydrophobicity that you see. You do want to keep in mind that you're going to get the durability of the base coat of wax. So if you have a carnauba with an estimated life of, let's say, 4 to 6 months, and you put a longer-lasting wax like ceramic 3-in-1 on top of that, you're not going to get the life of the ceramic 3-in-1 because it's affected, or it's essentially bonded to the less durable carnauba wax that you've already applied.
Yeah, I mean that's a perfect answer. That's exactly how we've always stated it. If you still need clarification, let us know. But essentially, you're bonding the ceramic 3-in-1 to the wax that you put on top of your paint, as opposed to ceramic 3-in-1 bonding to your paint. So you aren't going to get as durable of a response. But yeah, you can layer away. Just keep in mind your durability is guided by your base coat.
Layer away.
All right.
Marty Witt, I think this is from Facebook. No, you should not use waterless wash to clean your cat. Cats hate water, so it's not a terrible question.
It's not. It's not a bad concept, but no, don't use any of our products to clean. Organic
Yourself or your animals.
I mean, we get people all the time saying, "I want to drink it. Like, I don't know. Did you eat paint chips too, man? Come on, like,
probably
we don't want you to eat. These are meant for
ate glue when they were younger.
Crowd surfing. I like that. I don't know. I hope that doesn't have some weird internet meaning. I just think it's a fun.
Yeah. Gotta be careful what you laugh at these days.
Oh my gosh. Chris Henley, you see that question? Happy Cleantoberfest. My Porsche could use a respray from rock chips on my hood. Is it worth it to ceramic coat or continue to use synthetic waxes? Well, the reality is if you've got rock chips on your hood, thankfully you're driving your Porsche, and that is always a fun experience. Ceramic coating is not necessarily going to prevent those chips from reoccurring. Nor will it necessarily prevent any oxidation of your material. I mean, it will stave it off a little bit, but if you're getting through primer and or into bare metal, you really are either using touch-up paint or a respray as a way to protect that. And really, there's no real science or anybody that would hold their hand up, honestly say that a ceramic coat, regardless of the 9H hardness or however they're strong, it will prevent rock chips. It will prevent light abrasions such as swirl marks and wash-induced scratches better.
Emphasis on light.
Yeah, better than traditional waxes or polymers. But the best protection for your paint after you've resprayed it would be paint protection film. That will give you some thickness, create an actual physical barrier. But even so, that's not perfect. You can absolutely run those ragged too, especially if you're driving your Porsche at triple-digit speeds.
Yeah.
There's nothing stopping that rock.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would probably use ceramic 3-in-1 once you have it fixed up. Good way to maintain the surface.
We got a Facebook question that has been asked a couple times. You want to take that one from Alexander Reed?
Me or
Yeah.
Stevie?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Let's see. We have Griot's fan page with a post that's a little debate. Which is a better base coat, polywax or ceramic 3-in-1? And the context is on a new car, which doesn't totally matter for the answer to that question. I guess being said that it's a new car, I'll go ahead and assume that the surface is in good condition. Now, don't always make that assumption because a lot of new cars still need decontamination and detailing to get them right. But in my humble opinion, I would answer ceramic 3-in-1 to that. That's the product that I've been using as a base for pretty much all of my detailing since we launched it, as well as all my personal vehicles. It's just so easy and user-friendly once you've got the surface corrected. To go over it with that really quickly and get not only excellent durability, but also the gloss and clarity that you're used to with a lot of base coat waxes like polywax. Now that's not saying that polywax is a bad base coat by any means. It's still great. Durability between the two is going to be very comparable, I would say, in most scenarios, but your repellency, your hydrophobicity is going to be just a little bit better with the ceramic 3-in-1, and you'll notice that a lot from wash to wash.
I think there's a couple factors in play. One, ceramic 3-in-1 contains polymers, right? Polywax as one of its active elements. So 3-in-1, the name essentially states carnauba, polymer, and SiO2. So there are 3 elements, and that blend is how we deliver SiO2 to the paint surface. Now we're asking that polymer to create a film. That's what polymers do, they're film formers. But polywax is essentially a polymer that we're asking to behave as comparably to a carnauba wax as possible. So you're still getting the film forming of a polymer, you're getting a very durable product, but you're not going to get that stand-up tall bead, and I guess that is a stronger indicator to some people of durability. However, the polymer is still there, and you'll see it sheeting on a clean surface. So they're very comparable in terms of durability, the actual visual effect, and then once again, you touched on it very briefly, but this is very important, application preference. Ceramic 3-in-1 wax is so easy to use because you literally almost apply it like a sprayable wax or a spray detailer in some spaces, panel by panel, wiping it up. Polywax, if you enjoy waxing by machine, you're not doing that with ceramic 3-in-1 wax, right? You're applying
Good
polywax.
point, yeah.
A great hand waxing experience, polywax. So it really is preferential. I think the one element that's lacking from polywax is obviously those carnauba and SiO2 elements that are creating that stand-up contact angle ceramic-esque bead. So from a durability and UV protection standpoint, pretty comparable. Application method and kind of visual effect that to the trained or the untrained eye, that's going to lean towards ceramic 3-in-1 wax. To the trained eye, polywax is going to be pretty damn comparable. Hopefully that was enough to get you your answer in that it's pretty neck and neck. It's really preferential. They're both great, very durable products that, at least in some sense, share the same film-forming polymer technology at its core.
I think a lot of people, like you mentioned, the application difference. A lot of people, myself included, don't necessarily factor that in enough because there is a good amount of time difference and kind of effort difference there when you're talking about applying.
Yeah. So Scott Mattern, he's really hammering us on the panel wipe. But he's got a great little homemade formula there. So either you have a chemical background or you just like to experiment, and that's kind of fun. Isopropyl alcohol diluted to 30% with 1 to 5% speed shine for lubrication acceptable as a panel wipe. I don't know. I've never used it, but I would say that isopropyl diluted to, say, 50-50, like a 70% isopropyl to 50-50 water, it's going to cut and clean those polishing oils, but the risk you run is with towel drag and any towel scratches that you're going to get. So to your point, a lubricant is generally what's lacking in those homemade prep products. I cannot speak to the efficacy of adding speed shine, although inherently it is a lubricant-based cleaner. So I would say give it a try, but just make sure you're feeling your towel, that it's gliding smoothly. If you feel that tension or drag, either up the water, up the speed shine. But remember that speed shine, you're not going to get necessarily a perfect residue-free surface with that product.
That's what I was going to say. I mean, I don't think for that specific situation where you're using it to prep for our ceramic 3-in-1, I don't think you're going to run into any issues there. However, like some of the higher solids or higher content ceramic products they are a little bit more picky or finicky when it comes to having a completely bare surface. And like Nick said, speed shine does have a light amount that it's leaving behind on the finish. So you just want to keep that in mind. I know a lot of guys that do use straight alcohol. You just want to be very cautious in the towel that you're using and pressure and all of that, and make sure you're not leaving any towel marks in the surface you just spent hours perfecting.
All right, we got a couple great questions coming in from Facebook. And Scott, I think we need to give you a prize for those very pointed questions. We've been able to talk to it. So Scott, email social@griotsgarage.com. We'll give you a pick of coasters, a mug, or that salt shaker. They are nice. They're really cool, actually. Like really cool things to have on your, if you're a Volkswagen person, or if you live in a van. They're great accessories for you.
Good conversation piece. Too.
Okay, we had a question. Kirby Thompson, how many trips has Richard taken to Stuttgart? I don't know, honestly, how many times he's been to Stuttgart in particular. I know that same 993 I mentioned earlier, he took at factory delivery in 1996. I know him my entire life from the founding of Griot's Garage. You know, the beginning was a lot, really, really tool heavy. He would go over to Automechanica and the Cologne Tool Fair to source unique tools that were not available to end consumers in America, right? You can't really get Snap-on tools unless you have a commercial connection. But Richard's concept was going and finding commercial grade tools in Europe and bringing them back to America. So that was his business model for a long time. So twice a year he would go over to Germany. I don't know how many times he crisscrossed at Stuttgart. Every time I've been to Germany in the past 2 years, I've literally either flown into Stuttgart as a detour or plotted a detour to Stuttgart to go to either Mercedes-Benz or Porsche. It's actually a really, really wonderful town. It's big. You know, it's a big wine country. And then, like, in that town, just so much stuff goes on. I mean, having Porsche and Mercedes in one spot.
Pretty happening.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's a lot going on there.
I found out recently, which was kind of cool considering that they're competing German manufacturers, that if you buy admission to one museum, you get like half price to the other museum.
Yeah.
So as you think
back in the early 90s when Porsche was struggling, you know, Mercedes actually, the 500e, they actually had Porsche build the 5 liters that would go back into that car. So it's a Porsche-built engine in a Mercedes.
Cool.
So they definitely have collaborated, and we won't go way too far back in time when those factories were collaborating a little too much for a collective effort. But hopefully some historians got that joke.
Yeah.
But Kirby, I don't know how many times he's been to Stuttgart.
Glad you like the hat, Jeff.
And then Marlon Quinto, right below Kirby Thompson. You see that one? Is there a recommended dilution ratio for using rinseless wash as a pre-soak? Does it come in a kit similar to rinseless wash and wax? So the pre-soak question we can address. The kit question, if you want to see a kit, I think it's about time we kitted that up. But
yeah, definitely. And the pre-soak, so you're doing rinseless wash and wax at 15-1. So the Brilliant Finish rinseless would be a 6-1 is what we're recommending it as for either a clay lubricant or a pre-soak treatment. So say you're using Brilliant Finish rinseless in your bucket and you're doing a dirtier surface, you want to pre-soak it down, 6-1 in a spray bottle, pre-soak the surface, and then go over it with what you have in the bucket. Or you can also use that 6-1 as a clay lubricant with any of our synthetic options like Brilliant Finish synthetic clay or the fine surface prep mitt.
All right, should we give that guy a question or a prize for that question?
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Okay.
That's a good one.
So I think that came via Facebook. So Nick A, if you're out there watching, Marlon Quinto was the guy, unless he's in the chat over there, I don't know. But Marlon,
he is too, yeah.
Email us at social@griotsgarage.com. You get to pick your German-themed prize that we will send you for Cleantoberfest. We probably need to do kind of a collective oompa kick just to get the energy level up. All right, here we go.
I don't know if I've ever seen this.
All right, we're having fun. What is the next good question? Yeah, unfortunately, we don't have beers in our hand. Otherwise, we'd be really, really energetic and splashing
around. Makes it a little more enthusiastic.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody has actually worn authentic lederhosen, but they kind of flex in the right spots. You know, they're really
that natural animal
really
hide.
Nice, and these ones are made with
Good
goat
give.
hide, which is a strange thing to think about, but they're really comfortable. I mean, if I were a young German boy in the German countryside, I would rarely leave my lederhosen.
We did have a Facebook question from Bill Blum. Are there any good ways to minimize or prevent fingertips on glossy piano black on the interior of a car, or should we just accept a dust and fingerprint-filled existence? Interior detailer does have anti-static properties, which will help prevent dust from sticking back to the surface as quick, and it will also help prevent fingerprint buildup, although it won't completely eliminate.
Yeah, I mean, get those greasy fingers out of your car unless they're your own. But I mean, you know, piano black, it's beautiful, but it scratches, and it shows everything, just like everything else that's black. But I will say that you can polish those finishes as well, very gently and very, very mild polish by hand primarily. But Stevie nailed it.
Yeah, totally. I don't think there's anything to prevent fingerprints, though, unfortunately.
Yeah. I mean, you can definitely exacerbate them with a handful of French fries or something like that.
I would say I have seen, a protective product. Since piano black's glossy, normally you can put a wax or even like ceramic 3-in-1 on it. Just making the surface slicker will, if you're still grabbing it with greasy hands, you're going to leave fingerprints, but that may help alleviate it a little bit at least.
All right. You have any other Jules Lewis, best winter wax or to fight off snow? Polywax? Polywax would be a perfectly suitable wax for the wintertime. Again, when you're using a polymer-based product, it's going to be more durable than a natural carnauba. As we mentioned before, ceramic 3-in-1 wax would be a great choice for that. It definitely has the durability to last through a winter. In that scenario, I would not be opting for anything carnauba or natural. That's your springtime show car wax. So any of our polymer products would be a great choice, and the ceramic 3-in-1 wax as well.
Totally.
Jeff Brown is apparently giving away my cars, so appreciate that.
He wishes.
Yeah.
Rick Orris, best ferrous metal cleaner. Our iron fallout remover.
Yeah.
Totally.
I mean, if you're in a pinch too, our heavy-duty wheel cleaner, part of its job is to break down ferrous metals from brake dust on your wheels. Much lower concentrate, much thinner liquid than the iron and fallout remover. So if you're talking about a full iron and fallout decon on the rest of your car, use that product. You can apply that via foam cannon or squirting directly through the 35-ounce trigger. But yeah, I really like that 100%. One.
Great product. Often overlooked process too. The chemical half of decontamination makes a big difference. If you've never done it, it's definitely something to try out.
Yeah. Quick question from Dabbler Details. What's recommended for cleaning leather? Good vacuum, right? That's always the first step in an interior detail. You don't want to introduce a liquid and soak those crumbs into the seams and fight against anything that's already sitting on the seat. So a quick vacuum. If you use an all-in-one, say, conditioning and cleaning product like our leather 3-in-1 spray, you're counting on that, doing a little bit of cleaning. My preference is always to break it up into 2 steps. You're going to get better results. And there are surfaces in my car that I don't necessarily want to condition just for touch points alone, like, for example, my center console. Putting my hands there, putting my shirt there. I don't really want a leather conditioner there, and I usually treat it with interior detailer. So on my seats, I generally do our odor neutralizing leather cleaner. I can't see it right here, and I probably butchered that name. But that has great odor elimination technology so that you're actually removing anything that is sucked into the leather's pores, leaves behind a great scent, and then that surface is neutral for your favorite conditioning product. And my favorite conditioning product on perforated seats is Leather Care Spray. On non-perforated seats, Leather Care Gel. That's just my opinion. I don't know if you...
Mine as well.
Okay.
Leather Care.
Take a little bit more time in your interior.
phenomenal.
You pay for nice leather.
Yeah.
And if you don't, then you've got a whole different set of options. But you're asking about leather particularly.
Our odor neutralizing leather cleaner also has some additives in it that will pre-soften the leather, make it more supple so that it'll take your conditioners better as well. And it smells great. They all smell great, but love the leather cleaner smell.
All right, here's a question I like. Moviemon's got to win something. What modern car trends do you hate the most? For me, it's fastback roof lines on crossovers that cut into cargo space and plastic trim.
I am with you on the fastback roof lines on crossovers.
Oh, you can cross anything over at this point. I mean, we live in 2020 in America. There's a lot of crossing over going on in many different ways, but I hate this they're all just minivans that are a little taller.
Yeah,
all right, that's what they all look like that to me. How many Lexus and BMW models are there, like Grand Touring and Grand Coupe. It's like, get a life, man.
Yeah.
All you're doing is just adding bloat. Like the Tesla Model Y is like the key, like all these like future real like kids movies where everything's just soft and like bloated.
Yeah. Well, it's like manufacturers stopped making sedans and they started making SUVs to look more like sedans.
Oh yeah, and then it's like, oh, I liked how a sedan drove, but man, I really need that space for all my crap. My kids need to have their bubbles on and their infotainment system so I can, live in peace in the front seat and forget that I even have them. My least favorite trend is the death by safety. Right? I mean, I just can't stand the over-automation of safety. Now, granted, I understand there are plenty of people out there that cannot drive to save their life, and so their car must. But for those of us who actually pay attention when we're driving on the road, it is one of the most like difficult things. It's almost like another sense attacking you, right? Where your seat starts to vibrate. Your wheels will suddenly jam. I was backing out of a driveway in the rain and water flushed over the rear view camera and the car stopped and I literally jolted forward. It was not smart enough to understand the situation.
Yeah.
And I just can't stand that in modern cars. That's why I drive an old jalopy and I'm happy as a clam.
I had to add on that, just turning everything electronic, all of the electrification, if you will, of everything. I mean, I've been into four-wheel drives for a long time. It's like try to find a new four-wheel drive that still has a transfer case shifter on the floor. They're all electric buttons where your fuse or your relay goes out and you're stuck in two-wheel drive. Or
the Chrysler like knob shifter thing that drives me nuts.
Yeah.
The push buttons on the new GM full-size SUVs. I don't know, Stevie, what's your least favorite thing on modern cars?
Least favorite? Ooh. I don't know. I'm not really a big fan of the Mach-E or just like how you guys were talking about the whole crossover thing. I just in general, I'm not feeling them.
Yeah. I also hate,
Too many.
to that point, the Mustang Mach-E. We know what a Mustang is.
Yeah.
You can't just throw Mustang on everything.
No.
It's like Chevy with the Blazer. You put Blazer on a little crossover? Like a Blazer's supposed to be beefy. Like Chuck Norris is like running people over with that thing. Like
Disgrace to the name.
yeah, that's a Ford Bronco, to its credit. I believe did a really good job. Like kind of honoring its namesake and the history of that. Whereas again, to your point, Stevie, the Mustang Mach-E, just call it what it is, faceless electric blob.
Yeah. Trying to carry on the success of a Mustang.
Okay, we ranted for a while there.
It's a hot button.
Let's pick some. We picked that guy as a winner for a reason, and you really got us going there. All right. Okay.
You can tell we like talking about cars.
One diecast a day. I have one for you, Stevie. What do men and beer bottles have in common?
Oh, God.
I was going to say sometimes you want to grab them by the neck.
Well, he says they're both empty from the neck up. I think that's a pretty good one. One diecast a day, you got to win something for that.
I liked your answer too, though, Stevie. That was pretty accurate as well.
All right. John Blank, the idea of driverless 18-wheelers scare the hell out of me. Yeah, that scares me too. And I got my Class A CDL, and I'll say I have a lot more respect for commercial truck drivers as drivers than I do a lot of people that earn a driver's license in America. You have to do a ton of instruction, a ton of guided seat time in a multitude of scenarios with different trailers, different lengths of trailers, different weights of loads. They test you on your maneuverability of a very large thing. And then at the end of the day, as a truck driver, you're ultimately responsible for the health and safety of almost everybody else on the road. And your momentum equation means you win every time, right? If you are driving irresponsibly and you run over a row of Kias, all those cars are gone, right? I mean, 3,000-pound Econo boxes stand no chance against a 60-mile-an-hour, 80,000-pound truck and trailer setup. So yeah, that's a scary one. I can imagine, though, to be fair, an unmanned 18-wheeler crossing South Dakota poses very little risk to society.
Yeah.
But downtown Seattle traffic or
driving
a lot of
I-5 and
human
traffic.
interaction, I would be a little skeptical about that. Oh man, there we go. Jeff ranting about some politician that's no longer relevant.
He did have a good one though, the electric e-brakes.
Somebody said my fly's open. Again, if you think I have a fly, you've never worn lederhosen before.
It's a flap.
This is actually a quick access flap because if you're drinking liters of beer at a time and you're going to miss your favorite Oompa song, you got to get in and out, do your business and jam. And, it's just most guys wear their lederhosen sans an underlayer. And so this is just a quick access patch here. It's not actually a fly. So
Quick access.
yeah,
Key.
you're gonna like lederhosen if you've never worn them. But I will say, don't spend $10 on lederhosen. Spend about 75 plus, and you'll find that you wear them to do everything.
He does wear them to the office every once in a while, just
Yeah.
randomly.
All right.
Best type of brush to clean leather seats. That's a good one. Our horsehair interior brush is a pretty universal option. You could also add a smaller platform, narrower horsehair or boar's hair brush to that. But the horsehair interior brush does a good job of getting into the seams and doing large surfaces, so it's a good all-purpose brush. And really a brush for leather, and in my opinion, to clean it, that's the best way to go. Especially getting deep into the grain.
We got a question from Facebook from Rick Orris. Clear Bra has picked up dye color from rags. What can I use to clean it, or do I need to replace it? I mean, first of all, I want to know, Rick, and you can let us know, that should not be happening with one of our rags. We have tested ours for lack of color transfer. So I would say that's not too concerning, though. If it's like really embedded in there, you could try something that's more alkaline, such as our foaming surface prep and potentially our ErgoWave foam scrubber. There you go, Jeffrey Brown. If not, you could also use something. I like using our one-step sealant on PPF. Very mild abrasive and nice solvent base in that product. It's a great way to kind of lightly polish that PPF without cutting too deeply in it and marring it, which is a potential, especially with older PPF. So do an inconspicuous spot, make sure there's no negative effects of introducing an abrasive to that. I don't know, do you have any other advice for that?
No, that's exactly what I was going to say pretty much. Just, Did you say test in a small area first before you start polishing?
Yes, inconspicuous area
yeah.
if you're introducing an abrasive such as one-step sealant. Again, we've had some instances where people buy a car, they don't know the age of the paint protection film on the car or what that product was. If it's an inferior product or a quality product like Expel or Suntech, and you don't get great results, right? Old 3M films, they yellow and they really, really take abrasives and hold on to scratches very poorly.
Well, really, the older the film, I'd say the more finicky it's going to be, regardless of the manufacturer. I've always had good results with our Perfecting Cream as well. It's a nice light option.
Where is the beer? We're on the clock, guys. Still, believe it or not, we can dance and sing if we get enough thumbs up or dancing emojis in the chat. We'll do another little oompa kick. But yeah, let's see what else. We got a giveaway. We need some jokes. We need some jokes or some funny questions. You guys got to hit us up for a little bit.
Jules Lewis, I think this is through Facebook, asked a good one that was relating to an earlier question that we got about interior trim. He said, would plastic polish, I'm guessing, or a paint polish be a good choice for interior wood veneer or faux wood trim to clear up scratches and enhance gloss? Plastic polish is a good option. Most wood trim is going to be clear coated though, in my experience. Or even faux wood trim. A lot of times if it's fake, it's just plastic, in which case you could use plastic polish. If it's clear coated or plastic, our Perfecting Cream or Correcting Cream are both good options as well. So.
Okay, we're going off the rails here. John Blake says he used a recycled Kiwi shoe polishing brush to clean my leather seats. Great. That tool should be perfect. You know, you've even got kind of a higher sheen on like a penny loafer, even gentler brush or hair than you may have. Our horsehair is pretty darn gentle. So
Yeah. I wasn't laughing at the question either.
There's just a couple
in the comment section.
Couple comments in there.
Just be cautious that the shoe brush isn't too aggressive. I know I've seen some pretty stiff.
Yeah,
shoe
and
polishing
there are
brushes.
some nylon ones that, again, if it's a Kiwi one that's kitted with a leather product to rub on, and that kit also came with a cleaner, I think it's safe to presume that you can use that to do the cleaning on your surface. However, again, there are shoe cleaning kits that feature nylon brush for,
Stiff
say, like a rubber outsole that you would not want to introduce on your leather. So good clarification. Okay, I'm reference to my Instagram question. My model AA truck has a painted wood truck bed. Best product to clean and protect it. Okay, painted, Ryan. While you're here, before we answer it, tell us what it's painted with.
Yeah.
Is it clear coated? Is it like a colored paint, like a single stage?
Lacquer.
Yeah, we need a little bit of clarity on what the actual paint type is in order to best address that question. Since you're in the chat, clarify that for us. We'll get back to you, okay?
It's a common question that we get this time of year. How about, this was from Bruce Maxwell on Facebook, how about a waterless wash on a heavenly snow and salted dirty car? If it's really heavy, can you use waterless wash? That's a tough question. This is kind of yes and no. Severe dirt, we tend to recommend going to the next best method, which would be a hose and bucket wash or a foam cannon wash. However, of course, during the winter, you don't have that luxury much of the time, especially if you're further east in the country. So I would say you can wash a car that's dirty after a couple weeks in the snow with waterless. You're just going to want to take a couple extra precautions. The first one being to pre-soak all of the surfaces, especially the heavily soiled areas, your rocker panels, the rear of the vehicle, wheels, just belt line down, make sure you pre-soak all of it. And you can use either rinseless wash and wax or brilliant finish rinseless, both as pre-soaks, pre-diluted down. Rinseless wash and wax would be 15-1, brilliant finish would be 6-1. The heavier the dirt, the more liberal you want to be with that pre-soak to get it kind of emulsified and running down the panel before you start wiping. And then using a full 5 gallons of water in your bucket and swapping your towels more frequently than you normally would. I would say if the surface is really dirty, I would be swapping towels like every panel, if not maybe twice a panel. If you're doing like a big panel like the hood and your towel's getting pretty soiled, at least make sure you're flipping to a clean side, if not swapping for fresh towels. And then using a nice like plush edgeless, something with a lot of nap to it that'll pull in that dirt and keep it away from the surface.
So we got a Facebook question from John Wilkinson. John, I'm going to assume that your Instagram handle is 2 Wookiees because you're asking about an apron and you're referencing using your G15. So first and foremost, he has a question about, he says, with the ridiculous power of my new G15 on just speed 4, when would I ever need to floor it? My old G21 loved cruising at speed 6, and that's where I needed it for cutting. Not complaining, honest question. Yeah, it's a great question. The reality is, any tool you're acclimating to, you need to understand what its capabilities are. The G15 and G21 have a ton of power. There is rarely a scenario in the automotive paint that you're going to need speed 6 or even speed 5. So if you're getting it done at speed 4, there is no need to go up there. But what that should know to you is that the motor has latent potential. So if you do run into a jam at speed 4, that speed controller is going to kick it up and allow you to move through that. So just think of it as you have more power in every gear, which means you have essentially a torque band and a lot more spaces in that gear for that motor to compensate. And obviously, you're straining the motor less, should lead to a more durable tool. It's just like, I mean, quite a few power scenarios are like that, right? Just because you have it at $9,000 doesn't mean that you don't get great power at 6. and you want to short shift at 6 instead of running the red line every time.
Yeah.
So I think there's plenty of car analogies to be made, but if you've got enough power at 4, use it at 4. If you need it in a scenario for 6, which again, I've yet to encounter that on any automobile I've done. In fact, I stay away from it because the tool just moves a little fast. And quite frankly, I'd rather have it be a little quieter and get the results I need.
Yeah, for sure. I'd say I've sped up to 6 a handful of times, but it's usually only for a real stubborn defect, something that I'm not getting out at lower speeds and just need to amp it up.
Yeah. All right, and then his continuous question, which is what we saw on Facebook, is he said, did I miss the apron discussion? He was busy behind his G15 and G8. So thank you for using our tools, John Wilkinson. We're assuming your name is Two Wookiees. We're going to give you a prize. So if you're watching on Facebook or you're on the YouTube Live, please email us at social@griotsgarage.com, and we're going to give you your choice of a German theme accessory. Yeah. And the apron, we are going to see. We have had an apron in the works for quite some time. We've simply had an enormous amount on our plate, which brings me to a very important announcement that we are being coaxed into saying, and we forgot pretty bad. Our next YouTube Live is going to be one of the biggest we've ever had. And that is our SEMA YouTube Live on Thursday, November 5th. Thank you very much for putting that infographic on and prodding us, Matt and John. We have been irresponsible in our self-promotion. So that SEMA show, all right? If anybody's been watching us for like 8 months, we've been talking about SEMA. We do a lot of work leading up to SEMA because it's an enormous press opportunity. It generally coincides with our bring to market of some of our larger product launches. We're in the rhythm of the end of the year being a really big time for us. Hasn't made our last couple of weeks any less stressful. No. Usually we're packing crates and we're getting ready to go, receive death by air conditioning down in Las Vegas. But we're still going to put on a show. That Thursday, we're going to debut all of our new products, and we have a ton of them. It's going to be a 2-hour-long show at the minimum, starting at 3 p.m. Pacific time, running all the way to 5 p.m. Pacific time. We're going to bring Jeff back on to talk about some of our more technical products. We're announcing a really awesome new chemical partnership that we're totally stoked about, like head over heels in love about. So that's going to be pretty exciting. And we're definitely going to be giving away plenty of stuff, whether it be some gift certificates to get your holiday shopping going and some of those early products should they be in there. Likewise, our holiday catalog is dropping on Friday through Monday, so our holiday season will begin. We have a ton of cool gift items in there that we'll be giving away as part of that next SEMA discussion. So you better bring your questions. You better be participating that time, and we'll be giving away some of the coolest stuff we've ever made, I think. What's going on?
Patrick Donahue made a pretty hilarious observation. I didn't even see that myself. I'm not sure I would have put these on if I had noticed that prior.
It was a normal work day. I was well bathed. I wore underwear. It's not that big a deal, okay?
Nick and I are good friends.
Yeah. All right, we're going to share a sleeping bag later tonight. No, Patrick, you got to win something for that. That was pretty astute. You're the first person to call that out.
The problem is we're both wearing underwear.
I think he probably deserves a poster for that one. That was pretty good.
Then he'll really never be able to unknow that.
Oh my gosh!
Hang the poster in his room. Think about it every day.
Let's see. Can previous winners win during the SEMA show? Yeah, in general, we're not shy about previous winners winning anything, Joe. I mean, you've cleaned our house out many times. Yeah. But at the same time, we want you to have pointed questions. In particular, we'll have new products to talk about, so there's plenty of opportunity to really dive in and ask detailed questions about it. So yeah, we'll be a little more carefree about that. It's going to be a big deal for us. Again, we're gonna be on for a couple hours. We're gonna bring Jeff back in. It'll be a full production, and it'll be open forum too. If you have detailing questions, we'll probably answer a few of them, but really it's going to be new product focus.
Probably one of our biggest launches too, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean,
up there in terms of
I mean, in terms of the amount of products for a particular launch season, it's one of our heaviest for sure. Jeff, I think you need to go ask your wife if she needs you to clean dishes or something. You're a little active in this chat. Let's see. New Teslas come with an Elon Musk. Oh,
that one made me laugh.
you like that one?
New Teslas don't come with a new car smell. They come with an Elon Musk.
Yeah. All right, guys. So yeah, that Facebook event it will be broadcast on Facebook and YouTube, November 5th, 3 p.m. So normally SEMA would be starting that Tuesday, November 3rd, and again we're gonna stick to our every Thursday schedule, and hope to see you all there. Join us. Also, be sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell, so you never miss one of our new videos. If you like those posters, let us know, because we're having fun making them. And we've got a ton more ideas, but it does, we do have to argue for some time to create them, right?
Yeah, I mean, so hopefully you guys enjoy this ridiculousness as much as we do.
Hey, we're having fun in our garage. That's the whole name of the game here. If you're not enjoying yourself, gosh, go do something more serious, for goodness sake.
Go read the news or something.
Yeah, go stick your head in the sand. All right, let's see. For C sales on polishers, Gordon, I'd love to say that we're going to discount our polishers if we didn't have so much trouble just continuing to sell them at normal rates, right? I mean, we are selling so many orbitals right now. We really appreciate that, but at the same time, we know they're quality tools. You guys really enjoy their warranty. We've taken a lot of time and effort to engineer them for that. The best way, if you're looking for a discount on an orbital, is to buy one of the orbital kits. You're going to need what's in that kit anyway: pads, consumables such as abrasives, and other protectant products. And they usually come with towels. We build discounts into that. So the other thing to do, as Stevie's responding, sign up for emails. Sign up for our catalogs, griotsgarage.com/catalog request. You will see promotions time to time there. We don't necessarily just blast them out on social media. They are reserved for our email and catalog customers. But straight, flat % discounts on our tools, rarely. It will be sometime, if ever, if we do that.
Yeah, kits are a great way to go. That way you don't have to wait either. Good. Do we have time for a few more questions?
Yeah.
Hit a few more.
Yeah, we'll take a few more. We're going to get out of here a little early today, guys. And we started a little early, so I think that's probably, guiding some of this interaction. But we've had a great time. I mean, I don't feel like I look too ridiculous. How ridiculous do you feel, Stevie?
I feel pretty ridiculous, being that this apron is covering a bunch of buttons that would not close.
Look,
Evidently, I'm a bit bigger than Nick's wife.
Wow, she's carrying a child now, so I think she probably wouldn't fit in there just as well as you. But oh man, may have an announcement there. But at the same time, yeah, we've had some fun. Cleantoberfest has been a good one, but yeah, we're gonna have an even bigger one in a couple weeks from now. Somebody did notice the other Easter egg there. It's again, it's a German aperitif. It's very common. Jägermeister, yeah. All right, Josh. Oh, he's got a very, very relevant one here. You see that one? It kind of doesn't make any sense. It kind of doesn't make any sense. I drink so many beers, you can call me Albert Einstein. Okay, great pun, right? You definitely deserve to win something, Josh. I mean, you're always lobbing bombs our way during these lives, so we appreciate you. But Einstein, only one Stein, does not suggest that you're drinking so many beers. Zwei, dry. We're talking 2-3 Steins, okay? Let's get some more Steins in there, and then we'll say that you made a ton of sense. Okay, where's the lady in the poster?
She's on there.
Yeah, you just gotta find her. You gotta look closely enough. Scott Webb, I have the original buffer from years ago. What advantages will I see? Sorry, Stevie. Stepping up to a G9. You want to answer that, Stan? Pull yourself together.
What advantages? Okay. What advantages will I see stepping up to a new G9? Biggest one, power, I would say. I mean, there is a significant power difference between the two tools, and you will notice it. The G9 definitely just hums at a higher rate. You have a little more torque. It's harder to bog down. But besides that, I would say ergonomics are the biggest advantage. It is worlds more comfortable than the previous Orbital. The previous Orbital was a very popular platform of a kind of grinder body that was refined and modified for the automotive world, but it still didn't have a whole lot of comfort built into it. Whereas that was something that we definitely focused on with the G9, with all the double shot rubber, the platypus head grip, the trigger grip. All of those things just make it a very comfortable tool. And then the quick disconnect cord is my other favorite feature. That in your head, when you're shopping tools and comparing features and benefits, that may not seem like a really important thing. But when you have multiple orbitals on a cart and you're doing a car and you're unplugging tools and plugging tools in and wrapping cords and unwrapping cords, and you've got them all over the place, having one cord to the wall that you can move between all your tools is extremely beneficial and convenient.
I mean, and really, that's a really deliberate thought. I mean, we now have 5 tools that, so long as you use the 16 gauge 25-foot extension cord, which is it's not an extension cord, it's the longer cord, but that is a 16 gauge cord, that will power all 5 of those tools. So one cord for up to 5 tools. There is no other polishing manufacturer on the planet that offers that utility. Yeah, when you say ancient orbital, we've been selling orbitals since 1992, so the G9 represents years and years of know-how and improvement. It is worth the price of entry and then some. In fact, some of our wholesalers have suggested we sell it for twice as much, but we don't want to do that. We don't want to scare you away from the world of machine polishing. We want great value. But yeah, guys, we've had a ton of fun. I think we need to take it out with one after one other shameless self-promotion for our YouTube Live 2 weeks from now. SEMA Special Edition, major product launches. Follow us on Instagram at Griot's Garage. Follow us on Facebook at Griot's Garage. Be sure to subscribe to this YouTube channel. Hit the notification bell. We love spending time with you guys. We're going to keep having fun. We're going to keep dressing up like ridiculous humans because, well, I know I am, but
we all are.
Maybe we all are.
Can't take yourself
You
too
all are
seriously
too. If you're hanging out here with us, you are. But yeah, happy Cleantoberfest. Stay safe. Maybe enjoy a Marzen beer in the comfort of your home if you are of age to do so. Thank you. Have fun in your garage.
Have fun in your garage, everybody.
See ya.